So, folks, as you all know, we live in a place. It has an exchange of goods and services with a thing called money. And that exchange and flow of trade is what we call an economy. Now, economies need to work, otherwise people wind up not getting the things they need, and it's no good. People get real upset, they get real angry, and well, um something to keep in mind here as we talk about folks radicalizing and wanting to resist the Trump administration's overreach attempts. you know One thing we need to keep in mind is the economy. Because part of what they're doing during all of this power grabbing they're trying to do is they're pissing a lot of people off in the economy. And the economy is not doing so hot. So, one of the ways you make an economy really bad is by adding this thing called uncertainty into the mix. It's not good if people don't know if the market is going to exist tomorrow or not. People feel a little scared about that, and because they're scared, it changes their trading habits, their trading patterns, and that isn't good for the wider economy, right? And yeah, one thing that is affecting the economy right now is Donald Trump continuously changing when tariffs are going into effect. As many of you know, tariffs were supposed to go into effect on Canada and Mexico earlier this month, but Donald Trump decided, nah, we'll kick that can down the road by 1 month. And then earlier this week, he said, I know we're supposed to start like April 1st, but we're going to push it back until March sometime. And now he's, a couple days later, now he's just saying again, hey, remember everyone, next week are the tariffs. So, like, who knows what's happening at this point? But yeah, consumer sentiment is not doing real great. Um, People are walking around and they're like, I don't want to spend a lot of money because I don't have bright hopes for the future, and I may need that money to keep myself afloat in the harsh economic times to come. Yes, you can really boil it down to Trump take egg. You used to be able to buy eggs. Now Trump has taken your eggs. Exactly. Um, and you got people like PBS over here. Consumers cut spending by most in 4 years last month. And guys, that doesn't sound like an economy that's doing great. It doesn't sound like a bunch of people who have agreed that the best is yet to come. It doesn't really sound like that, does it? It sounds like a lot of people are really scared and really angry and feeling really cautious and hoping somehow that things aren't going to get much worse. And if those tariffs happen, if those tariffs go into place, guys, we're kind of fucked economically. Like, things are bad now. We're at like the most economic uncertainty since like the 2008 crash, but it can get worse. It can get a lot worse. Um One of the things that I find perhaps the most worrisome is this graph. Evolution of Atlanta Fed GDP now, real GDP estimate for 2025 quarter one. And it's diving by over 1%. And 1% drop is really bad. 1.5% drop is fucking crazy. They were expecting like maybe a little correction, like instead of 1.8% growth, we'll have a 1.6% growth. You know, like not great, not bad. It's a massive decline. Is it bad when the line does that? Yes, in fact, it is. Yeah, and keep in mind that's it was projected to be anywhere from like 1.6% increase in GDP to like a 2.5% increase in GDP. The GDP going down by 1.5 is a shift in, from perspective to actuality by like, 3.5%. It's a lot. That is catastrophic. And I don't think that people really realize how bad that is. And I certainly know that Elon has an idea of how bad it is because he's out there trying to spin this as well. We actually need to take out government spending out of GDP because if you take if you take government spending out of GDP, then it looks much better. Haha. Except that you can't. That's not how that works at all. The government spending is part of the fucking entire ecosystem of money. It's a huge part of the market. You can't do that. So Elon Musk clearly knows how bad this is because he's out there lying about it. Something he wouldn't bother to do if he didn't have to. Oh god. The issue is, guys, for those of you who are like, yeah, yeah, of course they're crashing the economy. Um, this type of crash was supposed to happen after they've passed the tax cuts. You know, this type of market action is supposed to happen after they pass the tax cuts. But because they've injected so much uncertainty in the markets, it's happening too soon. And if this hits before they're able to pass a budget, they're gonna be really fucking screwed because people are gonna know exactly who's continuing to fuck them over. People will have a very clear timeline of events here. It's not sustainable because you know what? You, you know you know how like sometimes people just are slow to understand what's happening in politics? It can take you hear about it right away. It can take them like 2 or 3 weeks to hear about it. I can tell you that everyone in the country is going to hear about this pretty quickly. Especially they're going to start thinking about it when eggs continue to become more expensive. 41% more expensive by the end of the year. Like, and they almost certainly will. But like genuinely people are out there being like Trump is just give him some more time. Trump will fix the egg prices. They're going to be like legitimately $15 by the end of the year. And they're going to know that like, oh, that Trump guy fucked us. But if the economy tanks in relatively short order and these prices hit much faster than that, it I don't know, it could change some minds. you know God. Also, can I just say, today my tip of the hat to journalist goes to Annie Lowry over at the Atlantic. Just what incredible rage bait. What an incredible rage bait article to post right now. This is top tier. You understood the internet and you nailed the assignment. It's so bizarre. Anyway, it's not a mystery that why eggs are not that expensive. It's because we do like industrial scale farming. That's why they're not expensive. God. So, just what can we take out of all that? Well, things are getting bad more quickly than people anticipated. Typically, you want to like come in as a president, you play it cool, you stump around Congress to get your priorities passed, and then you influence your bills to come to fruition, and like you get your budget passed. And then things can start going wrong, but until then you want it to be like as smooth sailing as possible. And Trump is just too stupid, erratic, and brain-addled from, old age to, like, play it cool and get these priorities passed, and so it's really just kickstarting, like, global instability. And, that's bad, but a side effect of that is that people are going to realize sooner who is screwing them. And right now, it is that there is no one else capable of screwing the Republicans other than the Republicans. And I think they're gonna be able to figure that one out. It's not rocket science. But folks, also can we just say real quick, it was really funny that someone came in here and tried to be transphobic to me about like looking like a man in makeup while pretending to be a baby. That was pretty fucked up. But also, I'm just the only makeup I'm wearing is eyeliner. Like that I'm it's not it's not extensive, you know? Like I'm wearing like a sports bra and like sweatpants and like I'm not done up to have be wearing makeup. I'm very confused about like every level of analysis in that attempt to dunk on me, you know? Yeah, I guess transphobes have never seen good skin in their life.